fucking is, dude.
Yeah.
Because like Disney's getting shit on, they keep calling it like, oh, Disney went woke, this and that, and like that's why it's not as like the new phase is shitty. But
yeah,
I don't know. I think people are just hard to please.
Yeah, well, and it is getting oversaturated. It's just we're getting too much of it, and it's like I don't need it all every week. I just need it to be good. I'll wait 6 months. Like Guardians Galaxy 3 trailer came out. I'm like, that's in May. I'm waiting 6 months to see that, and I'm pleased because I know it's good. It's gonna be good.
Oh, I mean.
In peace. Come on, Drax. Seriously, dude? No!
Don't forget. Where we came from.
I didn't see most of the movies, but they did a good job with those, and I was like, oh, I'm definitely gonna.
Yeah. So
I gotta I feel like that one, because to me it's like a lot of people with the Thor argument was like arguing it needed to be more serious and kind of like, and it's like I feel like they're heading that direction with Guardians. Like it's kind of somber, like people.
It always
dying,
had that emotional. It did,
but it also had a lighthearted.
It did.
Element.
It changed, I think, every single movie going forward in comic books, especially in the MCU. Because
they set the bar higher.
They set the bar, and not just of being a quality movie, but being having emotion.
You set the tone with his mom dying in the beginning. I was like, holy shit!
You're just like, whoa, we're not focusing on these characters' powers and fighting. We're focusing on their arcs and like where they are, and they're coming from nothing and like becoming this family, and that's the main story. And all this other stuff is secondary. And it's like typically it's the opposite in these films.
Effects-driven movies are like, hey, we just. Especially Star Wars, I feel it's like we need Darth Vader here at this scene. It's like, well, we just got to get there.
Sure.
Like, however we get over to Darth Vader, it'll be okay.
But
no, he did a great job, and I think the way they did the Guardians, like it didn't have a Thor, it didn't have an Iron Man, so they had to do what you just said. Where it's like, hey, we have to write this well. This has to be well received. No one knows these characters.
Yeah, I mean, I went into it and I didn't know who the Guardians of the Galaxy were before. No. Like I read a lot of. They kind of
made them up, right? Like even the comic book versions are not what they are.
Like the original ones, there's I think Yondu was the only one in the original. Like when you're looking at the first comic book with the Guardians, it's just him. But you know, in the lore, of course, they end up becoming together. But in the film, I'm just like, I don't know. I don't really have much of an affiliation with these characters and like what I've read. Right. I don't care about them. And then by the end of the movie, I'm in tears and I care about all of them. Yeah. And you know, Groot's the best. He's like the heart that he brings and being able to say like one thing. Yeah. How do you do that? That's really hard to do.
So the fact that visual, that's what I like visual, like the way Groot looked at people and like the way when he gives the flower to the kids and like the little things like that are endearing.
It's a beautiful movie. And then the second movie
and Rocket
also has a dark tone. I think all of them have a dark tone, and we're leading to this point. And so I do think it's organically getting to this conclusion, and nothing's going to be forced.
I didn't mean that. I just mean like I hope they are able to keep the
humor,
the fun.
They will.
You know, where they because a lot of people shit on the new Thor for being too goofy. And it was like it was very goofy, but it's like it was also very fucking sad. Like in my opinion, like the end scene, because that was the complaints I heard where people were like it was too goofy. There's too many jokes when it was serious. It was like at the end with Christian Bale, it was like they didn't like throw a pie or nothing. Like
sure,
it's fucking sad.
That was sad.
I'm dying. She would have no one. She would be alone.
She won't be alone.
And Christian Bale was in his own movie, doing his own thing, crushing it. And it was like, oh, these scenes with him were like,
amazing.
You feel it, and then the rest of the movie, I'm like, I'm feeling something completely different. So it's just kind of like jumping unorganically to that.
I understand. See, that's the thing. I heard most people's complaints. I'm like, yeah, they're not wrong. No. Where it's like it was kind of just jumping around. And again, you're right. It was like a comedy in some moment, like the scene where they went to the gods with Russell Crowe. Like that's a comedic tone, cadence, the whole thing. But when Korg got hit, and you initially thought he was dying. I was like, no, fucking no.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. So it was like it still had that emotional
guess.
attachment, or at least for me. Some
know.
people fucking hate it.
But see, like, I like a movie with stakes. Like Ragnarok had, you know, it was perfect because they did make it silly, but they still gave it stakes and still gave it a real tone of just like, this is important and this is fucked up and this is dealing with family issues and, of course, Marvel's favorite thing, daddy issues. You know, daddy dying and all this shit happening, and a lot of daddy issues in Marvel. Of course, it's one of the biggest themes.
That's a good point. I've never
Iron Man, Guardians of the Galaxy, Thor. Everybody has daddy issues.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah,
no, you're right. I've just never looked at it that way.
Based on it.
Yeah, or the same with Quill is like his mom passing.
That's what I mean. So, yeah,
and then it goes into his father. You know,
well, he has daddy issues with Yondu and his it's.
Well, those are the stakes that you set that we can all relate to, especially like in a Disney movie. I mean, that's fucking Bambi. That's one of the original fucking Disney movies, dude. Like, so it's like all these people are like new Disney wokeness. It's like. Fucking Bambi and Dumbo are like the same themes.
Yeah, I know people like to yell into fucking